So guys, now we will start working on our question screen and we will try loading our questions from the array of questions that we have. So first of all, I have added another folder in this source directory, and the folder name is config, and inside this I have created a question.js file, and in this we have kept our questions. And let us now analyze the this data so that we can work with it. So this is the react questions array, and it is an array of objects. Okay, so there are multiple objects. Okay, so there are around 5 objects, and each objects contain 3 keys. One is the question itself, question key, and then it has the options. Okay, the options for the question, and then it has a correct answer. Okay, so and I have added the text itself. You can also keep index for the correct answer. So let's say the index is the correct answer index could be from the options, it could be 0. Okay, because this is at the 0th index, but I have simply, for the sake of simplicity, I have kept it as the text itself. Okay, and similarly this is another object, and it has again the question key, then option key, and the correct answer. Okay, so now let's start working on it and let us try to render it on the screen. So first thing, I don't need this one, so I would use the curly brackets and we will enter the JavaScript mode. And now I'm gonna use the React questions, and this is imported from the config folder itself. Now we are going to use the map method of JavaScript, and we are going to loop over it. So each object can be called as question. So let me call it question, and for each one of it we are going to render a view. Okay, now this question. And now inside this view we are going to render the question, and let us see if our questions are being rendered. Okay, it is okay. Okay, got it. So here we have to write question dot question, because here we are extracting the object itself, right? This is an object, this is this particular object, and we need to extract this part. So obviously we have to write it as question dot question, but let us call it item. And now we are going to write item dot question. Now let us see if it is entering. Yeah, so we have our 5 questions being listed down over here, but now what we want to do is we want to just render the first question and note the 5 question at one place. So we first want to render only the first question, and along with that we want to render the options of it, right? So now let us start working on it. So for that, what you need to do is, let me make a text component, and here we are going to render our question. So it would be react question. Okay, yeah, first we need to initialize the state current question index, set current question index, and initially the index would be 0. Okay, so and now what we are going to do is we are going to pass it over here, current question index dot question. So now, yeah, it is working. So let me comment this for a while. Yes, now we have our first question, right? So if I change one over here, then we have our second question. So how it is working is that the current question index, it is being passed over here. So currently it is 0. Okay, so in this array at the 0th index, what we have this particular object, right? And now in this particular object, if we try to access the dot question property, what does it has? So this has this particular value, so this is being rendered over here. So this is basic JavaScript, right? So I hope you got this. And now what we need to do is we need to render the options, right? So yeah, for that, let me uncomment this and react questions. Again, we are going to get the index current questions, and we are going to map over the options. Okay, we and now what we need to do is it would be just item. Okay, so let us call it option. So now see, all the options are being visible. Okay, so what is the react? So these were the options and these are being rendered over here. Okay, so yeah, the logic same. The current question index is being passed over here, and then for that particular object we are trying to loop over the options array, and then we are basically iterating over it, and we are basically extracting the option, and we are simply rendering the options one by one. So now what we need to do is we need to polish the UI for it. So let us do that. Let us give some margin. Okay, need to import. Now let us style this text. Text would be to Excel, and also we should give padding to this whole view. Yeah, and now let us style the options. Okay, it's not bg, I want to give border. Okay, it would be border 2. First we need to define the width as well. Yeah, and now we have the border. Along with that I want some padding. Yes, that's fine. And some margin. Yes, and I want some roundness, so I would add rounded MD. Yeah, so now this is round, right? And here we can remove the padding, I guess, because we have it on the view. We need to remove the margin, not padding. Yeah, and we can give margin of vertical. Yeah, now it's fine. So now what we need to do is we need to increase the text size also. Let us keep it LG for a while. Yeah, LG seems fine to me. And also we need some spacing below this question and the options, so MB4. Yeah, this seems fine to me. And other than that, what else we can do? Now we need a next button also, right? So for that what we can do is we can import a pressable. The pressable is not imported. Okay, something broke. Okay, we need to put it inside the view. Yeah, we have our button. Now let us style the button. It would be bg purple 500, some padding, maybe 4. Yeah, and rounded MD. And to the text I would give text of white, and text would be large. Let us keep this padding a little bit. Okay, it's fine. Before is fine. And we need some spacing from the top. Yeah, perfect. And we need the text to be center. Yeah, seems great. And also what we can do is we can increase the boldness. So yeah, it seems fine to me now. So this is our UI for the question screen. We have the question, then we have 4 options, and we have a next button. Now what we need to implement is that on the press of this next, our next question should be loaded. So for that what we are going to do is we are going to handle this by using the on press probe and pressable component and handle next. And I would define a function over here. And now what we need to do is we need to update the state, right? Because this is the variable that is responsible for rendering the questions as per the index. So on the press of this next button, if I increase the current question index of this particular variable, then we can simply render the next question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a setter function, and I'm going to do current question index plus 1. Okay, so now let us try if this is working. Perfect, we rendered our next question. Now again let me press over. Yeah, our third question is being rendered, and now the fourth question, and now the fifth question is being rendered. And if I press again, this is the last question, and if I press again, you see we got an error. Why? Because the array has been finished and still we are trying to access the next element. Okay, next we are still incrementing it, so it doesn't have that particular index, and hence it throws an error. For that we can add a temporary check, which I will fix later. So currently what we are going to do is, if current question index is equal to the react question dot length minus 1, then we are going to simply alert as of now, or we are just going to do a return. Okay, so this would be the fix. For a while we are going to change it in some time, but just to fix the error. Okay, it is still not working. Okay, length, let's try again. Third question, fourth question, and yeah, this is the fifth question. So we are not moving forward. Okay, so this is a temporary check, we'll fix it. And now let us, now the next thing that we need to do is we need to basically add the progress bar over here, right? So, and I think, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to basically implement the logic of implementing the scoring. And once the user presses any of the option, then the background color should be turned to either green or either red as per the selected answer. So now let's start working on that.